Parliamentary updates.
The participants for the 22nd National Youth Parliament met together for the first time on Wednesday for orientation and the first briefing session. This year, 33 young people will face 4 weeks of training before having the sitting of the Youth Parliament to debate a motion. Welcoming the group along with their teachers was Clerk of the Senate, Nataki Atiba Dilchan.
Today I see before me tomorrow's Trinidad and Tobago. Future entrepreneurs, movers and shakers, captains of industry, captainesses of industry, those who will hold the wheels of governance and hopefully make decisions for me when I'm in my wheelchair to still be safe and sound and have a good pension. As I tell my Gen Zs at home, because I have Gen Zs at home as well, what you do today, what you start today, is what takes care of you tomorrow. It is what secures your future tomorrow. And so I encourage you to fully experience, enjoy your time with us over the next few weeks. Lean into all that you're going to be exposed to. Take it in, take in the mentorship. Question, research, analyze. Accept, absorb, excel.
The Speaker of the House, the Honourable Jagdeo Singh, brought greetings from the Executive Committee of the Parliament.
The National Youth Parliament Programme, held under the patronage of your presiding officers, President Mark and myself, is dedicated to providing you with a platform that is both immersive and deeply experiential in the legislative affairs. Oftentimes, ordinary citizens look on at awe with legislation, not understanding the process. I myself, as a young lawyer, was not readily capable of understanding the nuances in the legislative process. For this, you all have much to be grateful for, because your participation in this program provides you with the added advantage of understanding the legislative process in a deep and profound manner, which most citizens are not able to.
Speaker Singh told the young people that they now have a great responsibility.
You, the young persons gathered in this room, are the faces that will impart, lead, shape, and even impact this nation as a whole in the future. But before we delve into the legislative work ahead, I want to take a moment to address something deeply personal, yet fundamental to this journey. And it is your branding, not only your personal branding, the branding of your communities, the branding of your families, the branding of your schools, and most importantly, the branding of Trinidad and Tobago as a nation.
He highlighted that half the world's population is under the age of 30, yet this is not reflected in legislatures, but noted that the National Youth Parliament program is changing that for Trinidad and Tobago.
This glaring exclusion means your urgent long-term concerns are often pushed to the sidelines, breeding disillusionment and mistrust that stains many modern democracies. While this nation is no different, there are opportunities, and I dare say this Youth Parliament program provides that crucible of hope that this country needs so much.
The 2025 cohort was then addressed by current members of the Parliament, who gave them insight based on their experience serving.
Because that's part of what public life is about. And that's when Dominic's statement of resilience echoed in me. He's very right. So are you going to be resilient, as the speaker says, pick yourselves up, take the lofty ambitions? Because most people reflect upon successes in life. very few people realize the value in defeat. I remember the first time you're publicly outed on something. There's a defeat in that, but there's also a lesson in it.
There's a whole field called organizational psychology. And it reminds us that in this age of social media, a lot of people who are in leadership or aspiring for leadership say and do things to grab the headlines in mainstream media. You want to make the evening news. In this age of social media, so many people say and do things just for the likes. Leadership is about substance. It is about follow-up. It is about credibility. It is about weathering the storm and persevering. Ask yourself if you are prepared to subject yourself to the rigors of leadership that is not the tip of the iceberg that people see, but the real root of leadership.
Also addressing those gathered was Fane Richards, who brought remarks on behalf of the UN Resident Coordinator for Trinidad and Tobago. For this year's Youth Parliament program, the UN partnered with the Office of the Parliament.
The Secretary General has made that a high priority for all of us, so much so that we have a Youth 2030 strategy, a worldwide global push to ensure that as UN, everywhere that we are stationed and posted, we are ensuring that young people are at the center of what we do and that we are deliberately and very conscientiously putting our efforts and our resources into capacitating young people. As part of that strategy, we partnered with the Parliament for the first time last year on the National Youth Parliament. So last year's debate was actually a direct output of that Pact for the Future, looking at the topic of AI in the classroom. This year, I know that your topic is still yet to be formulated, but no doubt whatever it is that you all choose will have a direct link to the sustainable development future of Trinidad and Tobago. And it won't just be a national issue, it will be linked to global issues that young people, communities, societies, governments, and parliaments all around the world are looking at. Because really and truly, there are so few things anymore that are just local issues. You are all part of a global community, and multilateralism is the way that we come together as a global community to tackle things that no one country can handle on its own.
While the 2024 Best Debaters had some tips for the incoming bunch.
So simple things like etiquette, those are things you overlook as a young person all the time. Things like how the parliament works, the different houses, all of these things you'll learn throughout the next 4 weeks, so please pay attention, right? The importance of research. When you're debating, it's very, very, very important to make sure that you have sound resources. You don't want that you're debating in the middle of your point and someone raises a stand order from across the bench and they say, please quote your reference, and you're shuffling for papers, you don't know who wrote it, and then someone pulls up Wikipedia and say, well, this is your source of reference. So you know those ChatGPT articles that you get that the authors don't exist, please don't do that. Make sure you get articles that are peer-reviewed. You can use Google Scholar, and I'm sure they will brief you on all of these things that you need to follow in order to have proper data when you're presenting.
I came in as someone who never did any sort of debate before, at all. I wasn't even the type of person that liked public speaking. I also had a lot of thoughts while sitting in seats just like these that, well, I hailing from Mova Lavendale. I didn't come from that much money. I wasn't head girl of my high school or valedictorian at university, but I knew that I had potential, same as you. So I'll be very short. My advice is to focus on learning and bonding with your cohort. Don't try to be the loudest, because you will most likely be embarrassed, but compete to be the most engaged. Also remember that these are the people, you can look around right now, these are the people that are going to lift you up and empower and encourage you through not just this experience, but through life. These just may be the future ministers and ambassadors and leaders, of our country.
It was then time for the participants to ask their questions and for advice to be given.
So the question I have concerning time management is, what is your advice for people our age, which typically ranges from 17 to even your early 20s? Your best advice for time management that we could take? Because a lot of us might encounter difficulties or errors. This amount of people want to talk to us at the same time. These amount of topics or issues we have to deal with at the same time. And we don't know how to prioritize everything all at once at the same time. So what is the best advice that any of you could give to all of us?
Through the journey of being a councillor, a member of parliament, a senator, and a parent, I have had to manage. Time management is important. You have to prioritize, you have to balance, and you have to schedule.
As somebody who is, I would like to say, socially anxious, how do you develop confidence, in public speaking, in debate?
It's absolutely normal. The assurance I can give you, it gets better with age and experience. So embrace it.
And so my question would be, how can us as youth parliamentarians be involved and show initiative? What activities can we do outside of these formal sessions to show that we want to be involved in this?
If you live in a place and there are young people who you want to start getting them organized for football and cricket and so on, you hang out with them. It happens bit by bit. It happens naturally. If you are involved, if you have a passion for the environment, eventually you'll find yourselves attending some hike, going to some beach cleanup. You make friends in that network of people who have similar interests. You're not doing this for show. You're doing this because I'm passionate about this, I like this, I'm interested in this. This is your genuine interest. And you will build a network of persons who have that similar belief, and that is how movement takes place.
The 2025 edition of the National Youth Parliament will see 33 participants from schools, institutions and youth organizations take part in a mock debate on a motion of importance to young people in Trinidad and Tobago. Stay tuned for more parliamentary updates. For more information, visit our website at www.ttparliament.org and follow us on Facebook, YouTube, X, and Instagram.
Parliamentary updates.